Ministerial Commission meeting. The talks were from the Australian side were led by the Minister for Trade, Tourism and Investment, the Honourable Dan Tehan, and the Indian side were led by the Minister of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution, Textiles and Heavy Industry, Shri Piyush Goyal. The ministers will like to make an opening remarks, and then we can have a question and answer session. Please identify yourself and your organization before asking the question.
Very, very warm welcome to Minister Dan Tehan, a wonderful friend, and as the young boys and girls these days say, they call somebody an internet friend or a social media friend. For me, Minister Tehan was a VC friend. We came to know each other on video conferencing, several of which have been held over the last few months. But right from the word go, I found in him a very, very sensitive human being, very progressive in his thinking towards expanding trade relations with India, and a true well-wisher and friend of India. A warm welcome to him and his entire delegation to India. We have built upon the wonderful relations that our two countries share. Our two prime ministers met recently in New York for the Quad and bilaterally also, and laid out a roadmap for taking the Australia-India partnership in trade and economic affairs to the very next level and escalate it towards a comprehensive economic trade partnership. We've had some wonderful discussions today, meeting for the first time face to face, and it has been a truly engrossing, enriching and productive dialogue that we had between the two ministers and then between the two delegations. We have set out some very ambitious timelines, targets to meet, and agreed that both negotiating teams will work starting immediately towards very, very important outcomes towards expanding the Australia-India trading relationship. I won't take too much of your time. We have our guest with us. I'll request him to address you and lay down the broad contours of our discussions. Again, a very warm welcome to you, Minister Tehan.
Minister Goyal, thank you. Minister Goyal, thank you very much, and can I thank you for your warm hospitality. It's wonderful to be here in India with you. I came to India as a 16-year-old boy with my family, and I still have the dearest and fondest memories from my time coming here then. It's wonderful to be back, and I thank you for your extraordinary hospitality today. From the moment that we sat down and began talking, the warmth of our friendship, I think, shone through. We've been able to develop that warmth virtually, but once you meet in person, you really begin to understand where each other is coming from. Your warmth, your energy, and your aspiration for the Indian-Australian economic partnership knows no bounds. And I must say, for me, it is exactly the same. That's why I am so thrilled with what we have agreed. And what we have agreed today is to make sure that we will conclude a free trade agreement between Australia and India by the end of 2022. Now, this free trade agreement will include an interim agreement which we will seek to finalise by Christmas. It will be consistent with Article 24 of the WTO, and it will cover goods, services, investment. We will begin discussing government procurement, energy and resources, logistics and transport, standards, rules of origin, and we have agreed to exchange offers by the end of October. Now, this is extraordinarily ambitious. It's going to require a lot of work from both sides. And one of the important things that we've also agreed is that there will be dedicated negotiating teams set up by both sides to make sure that we can meet the commitments that we've agreed upon today. We did this over a wonderful Indian lunch. We broke bread, or we broke naan, as you would say here in India. Can I say, being able to look you in the eye and to have these discussions has given me great joy, because I know that the warmth that our Prime Ministers enjoy through the work they do together shone through in the work that we have done this afternoon. Our teams on the Australian side, led by the High Commissioner, and on your side by your Secretary of Commerce, have done an extraordinary amount of work in preparing for us to be able to do the work that we've done today. But I must say, it's only when you can sit down and you know that the person you're working with has the energy, enthusiasm and the passion to deliver outcomes that you know that you're going to get an agreement like we have this afternoon. This is a big day for the economic partnership between Australia and India. I don't think that there's been a bigger day. And I must say, I am thrilled, having come here to India to meet you for the first time, that we've been able to achieve what we have. So thank you.
So we can take a couple of questions. Please, you can take the question directly, please.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. I am Meghna Mittal from Newsrise. I wanted to know that for this interim agreement that we are aiming to sign by Christmas, what are the kind of goods that we are looking at, both from the Indian and the Australian side?
Well, the interim agreement is basically an option that has been given under the GATS framework, where once the intention for a full-fledged FTA or a comprehensive economic partnership is declared and announced and agreed upon formally, they do allow an interim agreement to cover areas of immediate interest. You could call them the low-hanging fruits, where both sides have a very positive interest in expanding trade between the two sides, which could be kick-started or which could be implemented in the interim, while the contours of the final agreement may take a little longer period of time. It also has a great demonstration effect, because businesses and the people of both sides start reaping the benefits of the agreement, and has a great demonstration effect on others to look at being more forthcoming and expanding the contours of the trade agreement. In terms of what are the goods, each side will be giving offers, as the Honourable Minister said, by the end of October, on areas of specific interest to both sides, and then taking the discussion forward.
सर आमिर न्यूज नेशन से सर किस तरह के एग्रीमेंट्स हुए और 25 जो क्रिसमस के ईव के करीब कौन कौन से रिलेशनशिप होगा और किस तरह के एग्रीमेंट्स होंगे, थोड़ा सा इसके बारे में डिटेल बता दीजिए। और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट्स को लेकर के क्या हो रहा है?
भारत और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बीच जो गठबंधन है, जिस प्रकार के संबंध है, वो ऐतिहासिक भी है और बड़े अमूल्य भी हैं। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के प्रधानमंत्री श्री स्कॉट मॉरिसन जी के बीच में न्यूयॉर्क में आपसी बातचीत भी हुई। क्वाड के संबंध में भी चारों देशों के बीच बहुत अच्छी चर्चाएं हुई हैं जिसके बारे में जानकारी आप सबके पास है, उसमें ये भी तय किया गया कि अर्थव्यवस्था और आर्थिक क्षेत्र में भी दोनों देशों में बहुत कॉम्प्लीमेंटैरिटीज है। दोनों देश एक दूसरे के साथ स्पर्धा में नहीं है, लेकिन दोनों देश एक प्रकार से मिलके मित्रता के साथ काम करें तो हमारे पास कुछ बहुत अच्छी चीजें हैं जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया को लाभ दे सकती हैं, और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के पास कुछ अच्छी चीजें हैं जो भारत को लाभ दे सकती हैं। इसमें गुड्स भी है, इसमें सर्विसेज भी है, इन्वेस्टमेंट की भी बड़ी संभावना है कि निवेश आए ऑस्ट्रेलिया से भारत में और भारत से ऑस्ट्रेलिया में। और अच्छी बात यह है कि दोनों देश के लोगों के बीच इतनी अच्छी मित्रता है। अब इसको आर्थिक क्षेत्र में भी कैसे क्रियान्वयन किया जाए, उस पे हमने हमारे दोनों नेताओं के बीच जो अच्छे संबंध बने हैं उसको आगे लेके जाने के लिए आज चर्चाएं की। ऐसा तय हुआ है कि एक पूरा बहु आयामी चारों सभी दिशाओं में देखने वाला चिंता करने वाला एक एग्रीमेंट किया जाए, कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव एग्रीमेंट किया जाए, और उसके अंतर्गत ही जो चीजें जल्द से जल्द लागू की जा सके उसको एक इंटरिम एग्रीमेंट की तरह दिसंबर तक फाइनलाइज किया जाए, जिससे दोनों देश के उद्योग व्यापार जगत को भी तुरंत फायदा हो सके, हमारे कृषि क्षेत्र को फायदा हो सके, और एक प्रकार से एक बैलेंस्ड एग्रीमेंट जो दोनों देशों को सामान्य रूप से लाभ देता है, उसके प्रति हम दोनों ने अपनी कटिबद्धता प्रकट की है।
Good evening, I'm Nivedita from Business India. So, is there an estimate of the trade and investment potential that can be unleashed through a full FTA? And are there specific sectors which will benefit from this agreement?
Enormous. The enormous. The potential for us to build on what we do already bilaterally is absolutely, I think the sky is the limit. If you look at our trade at the moment, it does not reflect the true extent of the economic partnership. It's roughly around $26 billion. I think if we can reach a full-bodied free trade agreement by the end of 2022, then you would see over the years to come that trading relationship double. And it will double in all areas because the complementarity between our economies is so great. Whether it be, I'll give you an example. Australian wool, merino wool, can go into the best textiles in India, and then those textiles can be exported to the rest of the world. So you would have Indian ingenuity, you would have the best fibre in the world when it comes to fine merino wool coming from Australia, producing the best textiles that would be sold globally. That just gives you one example of the potential of this economic relationship. So if we can get the agreement that both of us are seeking, then I have no doubt that this will boost the economic partnership in ways that we can only imagine.
I may just add, India has a lot of products which are of particular interest also to Australia, similar to merino wool. We would have Pashmina shawls or Pashmina from Jammu Kashmir, which would be of tremendous attraction to the Australian people, particularly considering the cold weather that is there for many parts of the month. So like that, there's a lot of complementarity that we have discussed and where we see huge potential. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi sir, good evening. This is Shubhayan Chakraborty from Money Control. First of all, congratulations to both sides on deciding to do such an ambitious partnership under such a short time. I will not go directly into the sectors that are being covered because they are currently obviously under negotiations. But with regards to the timeline and the process that is involved, are we doing something new this time? Because obviously by end October we are going to give out the offers. But I mean, how exactly is this updated negotiation tech working?
Well, this is new because we've sat down and we've agreed the framework, we've agreed the roadmap as to how we are going to do it. So this is significant. We sat across the table from each other, we've looked each other in the eye, and we've said we're going to have an exchange of offers by the end of October. Now that is incredibly important. That's real progress, an exchange of offers by the end of October. We will have an interim agreement by Christmas, and then we will have an FTA concluded, done by the end of 2022. Now, that is ambitious. Have no question, that is ambitious. But that ambition is backed by the energy and enthusiasm of both of us to get this deal done. And that's what is so important. We have sat down and we have said we are going to do this. We've mapped the framework as to how we're going to do it. As I've said, goods, services, investment, government procurement, we're going to consider and work out what steps we can take either in the interim agreement or the final agreement. Logistics and transport, standards, rules of origin, a phytosanitary chapter. We're going to have a working group within that phytosanitary chapter. So all these things have been agreed. We've decided that we are absolutely serious. We're backing the commitment that our two Prime Ministers have. The area of health, pharmaceuticals. One of the things that I have in my electorate in Australia is Sun Pharmaceuticals. They have a large investment in my electorate. This is an area where India has strong economic advantage, and we're looking to work in partnership. There are many areas that we can do things which will benefit India, that will benefit Australia. What I call a true economic partnership. I've come here for a win-win. That's the way I like to deal. I want everyone to win. As Minister Goyal said, I have a real fondness for India. It is close to my heart. And so I want to make sure that when I come here, it's a win-win. I want India to win. I want Australia to win. This isn't like the cricket. In the cricket, I want Australia to win. Believe you me, I love watching India play. I like watching you beat England. But when it comes to Australia and India, I want Australia to win in the cricket. But on a deal like this is a partnership. This is about win-win. And that's what we want. And if we do this properly, we will get that win-win. It will lift the standard of living in India, will create jobs in India, will lift the standard of living in Australia, will create jobs in Australia. That's what an economic partnership does.
Since you have raised cricket, Minister Teran, may I just correct the perspective? I think usually in the past it used to be about test matches. And there you could worry about whether India wins or Australia wins. Though of late I think India has beaten Australia more times than the other way around. But this is about like a T20 match. And which is why such aggressive timelines. We are not looking at a 5-day match, we are looking at a 20-over match in a defined timeline. And I think the current IPL series, which is going on, can be the role model where Australians and Indians work for the same team, play in the same team, and worry about defeating the other teams. That's the spirit of this partnership.
Very clear.
Thank you.
Hi sir, I'm Amity Sen from Hindu Business Line. I have a question for both the ministers. Well, India and Australia have earlier also tried to work on FTA, but there were some problems and the talks were stalled. So my question is that whether we would be building on the negotiations that the countries already, participated in over a few years, or has the slate been completely wiped clean and we are starting anew?
First of all, the negotiations were going on before RCEP, and they were not stalled. They were subsumed into the RCEP process for a variety of reasons which are well known to everybody and have been widely welcomed across the country. We did not agree to join RCEP. It was not in the economic interest of India at certain level. But that did not mean that it was because we had any problems with a particular individual country. And even during our discussions in RCEP, Australia and India had absolutely no outstanding issues. We were able to sort out everything. So in that sense, the talks never got stalled. But since we are not a part of RCEP, we restarted the discussions, and unfortunately Corona hit us and delayed the process. But both Minister Tehan and I are new in our jobs in some sense. I've been there for 2.5 years, but in some sense we were not a part of the old discussions. So we bring fresh thinking, fresh energy to the partnership and the discussions. But that does not take away our strong bonds of friendship which have been there for many years. So I'm using that analogy to say that whatever has been discussed in the past will obviously always be there before us and help us speed up the negotiations. But we'll certainly also look at things with a fresh perspective so that the outcomes can be even more bold and ambitious. That's how I would look at it, as a fine mix of the past, yet a lot of newness to the discussions.
Absolutely, I agree entirely with Minister Goyal. Fresh eyes are what we're bringing to our economic partnership, and we want to make sure that those fresh eyes that we bring looks at the opportunities across the board, across the spectrum, because there are so many opportunities, and we want this to be ambitious. We want it to truly reflect the partnership, and so that's why we're committed today to such an ambitious program. What has happened and what has gone before us, that has gone before us. What we're looking to is the future, and the future is what is important. It's what's important for the Indo-Pacific region, where we do the predominance of our trade, where our partnership is so important. The economic partnership is a key component on that we want to build on. But that is why we bring to it new life. We bring to it a new set of eyes. We bring to it a new partnership that we've developed virtually. And I think that with that energy, with that newness, we'll be able to strike out and put together an economic partnership which will set up both countries for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.